Hello and welcome back to Rapid MMA. I'm Tyler and I'm going to briefly break down UFC 193, Uriah Hall versus Robert Whittaker, which takes place this Saturday, November 14th in Melbourne, Australia. Definitely one of my favorite stylistic matchups on the card between two very well-rounded fighters. Of course, that means a harder fight to predict, but nonetheless I like breaking down fights more than I do predicting them. So I'll leave the accurate predictions up to you guys. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this matchup and please click the subscribe button if you enjoy the content. So let's begin. I want to start with Robert Whittaker because this is the guy that I really enjoy. I feel like he's flown under the radar a bit, but I can see him making great strides in his abilities over the next few years as he climbs the ranks. He's only 24 years old and shows very good improvements in each fight. He's recently moved up a weight division from welterweight to middleweight and is looking excellent since the transition. What I like about Whittaker is that he's able to find his range quickly. He figures it out with his jab and his leg kicks, both of which have been very successful in every fight he's had. His powerful left hook, which knocked out Brad Tavares in his last fight, is one of his greatest assets. What I like most though is his reaction timing to his opponent's offense. He engages, baits his opponents, then slips and reacts with his own offense. In this sequence, where Whittaker fought Clint Hester, we see him slipping the jab, following with an uppercut, then swinging the left hook. A beautiful combination that we've seen from him before. In addition to his solid boxing foundations, he also holds a black belt in Hapkido, black belt in Karate, and a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He has 6 career submissions, 8 career knockouts, and the rest are decisions. Obviously a well-rounded fighter at a young age who is still making improvements. However, there's one thing that could cost him a fight against Uriah, and that is sometimes he leans forward with his head when throwing the jab or step jab. This makes him even more vulnerable to a counterattack, and that's the last thing you want when dealing with a precise striker like Uriah Hall. There's a lot to learn from Whittaker, but I'm excited to see his growth. I think his keys to victory is to not overcommit to any one strike, use punch-kick combinations, and always move back to the center of the octagon. Whittaker can't stalk Uriah Hall and chase him around. He needs to cut off the cage and keep control of the center. Otherwise, try to get to the ground, which all has to be set up correctly. Moving on to Uriah, we know Uriah Hall is extremely dangerous, powerful, and precise. He's not a guy you want to chase around in the octagon and overpressure on the feet. Just ask Chris Lieben and Gegard Mousasi. Hall is a counter striker, which is why he stood in the middle of the octagon waiting for Rafael Natal to come after him rather than Hall chasing Natal around. In the latter rounds, it seemed Uriah did get frustrated and chased Natal down and found success. He ended up losing that fight by split decision, which I disagree with. But anyways, he likes to time his opponents coming in so he can throw a spinning back kick or dive in for a knee to the body. He also has an underrated ground game. He nearly had Gegard in an arm lock after defending off his back for most of round 1. Uriah is dangerous everywhere, but it's a matter of imposing his will and using a little more offense rather than defense. Otherwise, he's in for a career where most of his opponents are dictating where the fight takes place and relying on the judges. There isn't much to say about Uriah that we don't already know. He has an answer for pretty much everything Whittaker has, but I believe it really comes down to Uriah Hall pulling the trigger. I will say that if Whittaker pressures too much though, Uriah will definitely hit him with a spinning kick, either to the head or to the body. He's just too damn fast and precise. Uriah's keys to victory is to impose his will, use plenty of kicks, and much like Whittaker, keep control of the octagon. This is a hard one to pick, but I can see Whittaker defending most of Uriah's counters and controlling the pacing. Whittaker stays pretty simple, but his combinations are slick. However, he can't overcommit and get caught when Uriah Hall is being elusive. Leaping left hooks are always a danger to Uriah Hall as well, and that's something to look for in this fight. But I'm not ready to give up on Uriah just yet, even though he's hard to gauge. Whittaker could take this by decision, but I can see him overcommitting and getting caught. Therefore, I'm going with the 3rd round knockout by Uriah Hall in a likely great and tactical contest. Since I'm not confident in this pick, I'd love to see what you guys think. Leave a comment below and tell me where you can see this fight going. If you enjoyed this video, again, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next fight.